Hi everyone. Right, this is part 2, or actually part 3 I suppose, of the assembly of this giveaway journal. So we got all the pages together. I've trimmed them all to size. You can see where I've just taken all the really big steps out of it. Then it's not 100%, but I actually don't mind that. It just gives to the uniqueness of it. So I've come to do the pockets for this. I'm only going to do the one signature because it's going to get so boring otherwise. For these particular journals, they're plain, they're simple. It's the pictures that tell the story in this one. So what I tend to do, or what I've started to do in these ones, is to take a piece of 12 by 12 and cut. So if you can, hang on, let's slide it all over. There we go. Right, a piece of 12 by 12. I've cut a 5-inch strip off it, and then out of that 5-inch strip you've got either 2 corner tucks or top and bottom. There's a top tuck, or it could be a side tuck. There's one of these wraparound ones which I'm actually very fond of. So you've got that. And then the bit that's left, I was looking at it and I was thinking, well, what can I do with that? So, I quite like these glassine bags. Now, the ones I buy are too big. I don't know how big they are actually. That's the original size. So I cut the bottom off and glue it back up, and then just distress around the edges. I like to do collages. I really enjoy these. So move that out of the way. I was thinking, well, what do I do? So I've got some pictures. My original thought was that and that. Yeah, that'll do. But that will go on there. So hey bingo, a glassine bag, another pocket. I've really started to get into these little note cards that you just glue inside your page. So I've got a piece of coordinating. This measures, I think it's 4 tall by 5 across. So I've just scored it at 5.5, just to make it bend easier. And then that will go on there. So this is, oh, actually, that might look nice. When you do these, if you do these, just have a play around with whatever pictures you've got. Well, that actually looks quite nice. Yep, there you go. See, I've just instantly changed my mind about what is going to go on there. It probably doesn't need the lace. Don't know. Might leave it on. We'll see. There we go. See? That is how I put these in first, so these will now go in the signature. And I paper clip them in, because then I can go through it, I can have a look, and I can say, do you know what? That looks rubbish. And it doesn't matter because they've only got a paper clip on them. So if I start off there, and I do go back and I do change my mind, and I don't glue anything down. You cut them a 1/2 inch shorter than your page size, or a 1/4 inch shorter, then they're not going to catch on here. Let's get it in focus. They're not going to catch on here when you come to stitch it in. So if we go that one to there. Oh, I like that. Don't know, that might have the glassine bag by it. Then you can make a real focal point of it. And this is how I go through all my pages. I try and keep them reasonably even, so you've got some one side, some the other. So you got, it sort of keeps the bulk out. I don't want to go in there. And that's how I go through them. Once I've glued them in, that's when I go across and decorate. I try and keep the same lace per signature. So if I've got this one on the glassine bag, then I'll keep it the same throughout. And then the next signature is different paper, so it'll be different lace. And I've tried to use it as a kind of storyboard. So it's like a different chapter all the way through. Right, I will go and glue these on and then come back and show you what it looks like, because the next step after this one is the stenciling. Welcome back. Right, last piece of lace. So I've decided where all the pockets were going to go. I've glued them all in and I've just kept to this one piece of lace. I do decorate my pockets before I sew everything together. It just makes, for me, it makes it so much easier. Right, somebody asked me what glue I use. It is, if you can see that, Art Glitter. This is designer adhesive. It's the only thing I use for lace. I bought a fine tip to go with it, applicator tip, and it's brilliant. And it does dry just about. It does stick everything. I have even, when I've run out of E2000, used it to stick metal corners on books, on the covers. It is very good. When I put my lace on, I like to have a bit hanging over the edge. Just breaks up the lines a little bit. But that is an entirely personal choice as to what you like. That's the beauty of these things. You just you can do what you like, unless of course you've got a custom order and they've specifically asked for something. But the majority of the time, if you don't enjoy making it, I don't know, can't see the point. So that then goes back in there. I'll do a quick flip through of this signature so you can see where we're up to so far. Yep. And so that was the top tuck, bit of lace. Where's the other pockets? So I've glued those down. I don't think this needs anything other, apart from the fact I might, if I can find some more lace, perhaps put a belly band across it. I think that looks quite nice. See, that's the beauty of having it done like this. These, I don't know. This isn't the right lace for that. It needs, I keep a box of bits. Now that looks quite nice. Yeah. That was the corner pocket that I did. Where are we? Excuse me. One of the kids has come home with a cold. And bless them, they do like to share them. So we've got the same but in top tuck. That one I might stick a belly band on again, same as the other side. Don't know, that's a bit too pretty. Don't think. I do have some wide lace somewhere, obviously not amongst that lot. That was the glassine bag, and that's how we've gone for. That was that little note card. So you can, loads of stuff. I will admit to ending up having to put another piece of coffee dyed paper in, because I don't think there was going to be enough journaling space. So those are my pocket. I can, for these journals, these plain and simple pockets and tucks just work. I mean, for like the last journal that I did for that tea project. You know, it had pockets like these in them. And yeah, I can do frilly and I can do lacy. And these are the same thing. I think there's a 4-inch square of material. I've cut a doily in half, folded it over the top and glued the back and a bit of the front. So you've got a bit of lace running up here. That's a die cut flower with a bit of pearl in the middle. Now in the UK this is called fun fur. I don't know what the states are called. Eyelash trim? Don't know. So yeah, there's, oh, this is one I took apart. That went like these on the bottom of the bag. So very, very simple ideas. Little coin pocket. These were going to be used in, oh, I've still got a card in it. These were going to be used in the journal. It's just I never got round to using them. Or I never made the journal, actually. Can't remember. So yeah, I can do it. It's whatever the occasion calls for in the way of pockets. For me, for this one, a little bit of decoration, but it didn't need, in my mind, it didn't need much. And as you, the person that's actually making the journal, you decide. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be that little bit of lace across there will be great, just as a little belly band. Doesn't need much because the paper is really decorative. So it doesn't need much. Just a bit, just enough, just to break up a, I think. I don't know. I may not do it. And if I do it one side, I probably am not going to do it the other, if I'm honest. Because I quite like those hummingbirds. Right. So all that's left now is to stencil. And I don't need to show you how to stencil. I'm convinced of it because you are all super intelligent journal makers. I would choose a colour and normally stick to it throughout the journal. What I will do is different stencils per signature, and I'll do, not every page, but I'll do, well, there, that one. that's a coffee dyed paper that I've dried on a baking sheet, which has got, as you can see, lots of ridges. So that may not be the best one to try and stencil, but I'll certainly give it a go. So what am I looking for? So that would probably have a stencil either in the corner or just a bit. Just enough to lift the page a bit. Yeah, same with that one. That will just have just a bit of something just to lift it. Doesn't need much. And also, you need to keep it faint. I like to keep them faint so I can write over the top of them. Whatever I'm writing, it will show. Yep, that's another one that will have a stencil. I don't like to leave two completely blank ones. And I'm not very good at stamping, so I tend to stencil. And that one may have something up there. Yep. And that is how I do my pockets and tuck spots. I used to spend hours agonising. I think I left a comment saying I used to spend hours agonising over what I was going to do and where everything was going to go. And it's like, do you know what? I'm just going to put them in and have a mess around, but then do it. If I'm not sure of something, I have to admit I will leave it till the next day and then come back and have a look at something. But that's how I do my pockets. Somebody's asked me to do a tutorial on sewing in signatures. I'll certainly give it a go, but there are some wonderful tutorials on YouTube for sewing in the signatures. I can be a bit cack-handed, but we'll give it a go. See how we get on. Right, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you later. Bye.